Welcome to another episode of Platform. Today, we're going to be speaking to Michael Witzemann. Michael has been killing it in recent years. He has put out a ton of edits, namely Soul and promos for Red Eye Wheels, as well as, I think it was Beats and Blades and something to do with funk as well. Basically, in the last 2 or 3 years, he's been regularly putting out content, good content, and writing for sponsors, including REMS, Blade Life Clothing, and Red Eye Wheels. Recently, well, not recently, last year, he decided to stop skating for REMS. In fact, it seems like everyone decided to stop skating for REMS because they've just gone quiet. They're not producing skates and they're not updating their social media. So I don't know if anyone really knows what's going on with them. He was floating around sponsorless for a while, riding on them skates, and now he's been picked up by USD. In fact, he's just released an introduction section, which was great. Had some really interesting switch and natural tricks, some good switch ups, some clever ledge tricks. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. So going to talk to him about what happened with REMS, see if he can shed any light on it, find out how he got on USD and when that started, talk about his plans for the future, talk about his skating, things that he likes, things that he doesn't like, see what else he gets up to in his spare time when he's not skating. Basically, just find out as much about Michael as we can. Before we do that, though, cue the music. Right, am I pronouncing this right? Michael Witzemann or Witzemann?
Neither one. Yeah, but that's a really common thing. So actually, the real pronunciation would be Michael Witzemann.
Witzemann, so V instead of W. Michael Witzemann,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but I'm fine with either pronunciation. So whatever works best.
Right, I've just totally screwed up the intro then. All right, cool. And just to clarify, definitely from Austria, not from Germany, as some stupid, ill-informed rollerblading website once wrote.
You probably mean every single rollerblading website that ever reposted a video of mine. It's always Germany, sometimes even Switzerland, but never Austria, never in the first place, at least.
So funny. That was the first thing you ever said to me when I met you at winter class. You're like, hey man, you're on Wilson. Yeah, I'm not German. And I was like, all right, cool. My bad.
Oh man, I don't even remember that.
In my defense, you spend a lot of time in Germany and you've got a lot of German friends. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't judge people for thinking that I'm from Germany. I mean, I would probably think so too, but it just happened so many times, and I thought, all right, we were trying to get Austria kind of on the map or whatever, and I thought, all right, I just have to like correct people right at the beginning, otherwise it just keeps happening all the time.
Just need to skate around like patriotic with a national flag on all your clothing, just so everyone knows.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the American flag, but yeah. I just try to
You rock like the bandanas, so you can just start wearing bandanas with a national flag on it. Job done.
Yes, and next video is gonna be to the national anthem.
Right, that's all I ask. Just to clear this up. So we've already had an Austrian on the podcast.
I've heard that, yeah.
And Gabriel Hayden had some great stories. So I'm not trying to put the pressure on you, but
oh, come on.
Those are big shoes to fill.
Yeah, he's been in the game for way longer than I have been. So there's not even enough time to get that many stories done. Like. I'm trying to get to that level at one point, but for now, I mean, how long has he been skating? Like 20 years?
Yeah, it's got to be about that. Yeah, around maybe even longer.
How long have I been living? Like 24 years. So there's not even enough life stories to that, you know?
He started skating when I was a toddler. Yeah, that's fair enough. Weirdly, I did try to get some stories about you because we've got a friend in common, Connor Pierce, and I was like,
Oh man.
you've been
Oh
over
no.
to visit him. Give me some stories." And he said he would, but every time he goes over to visit you, he gets so drunk that he can't remember anything that happened.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So every time he gets here, we're like, all right, this time no screwing around. You're here for one weekend, and we're maybe gonna drink one or two beers, but we're gonna get some clips, and then we're gonna stack clips and make a big video or whatever. It never happened. I think we once tried to get clips and we just got shit faced the day before. And when we tried to go skate, we had about 200 clips and not a single landed trick
Nice.
for one whole day. So yeah, that's pretty much every weekend Connor's here.
Yeah, I gave him a nickname after. Remember when Second Gear came out and he only had 3 clips, and I was like, "How many?" I was like, "How long were you there for?" And he was like, "Oh yeah," like he's like, "I went a couple of times," and I was like, so I nicknamed him Captain 3 Clips, and that I've been sticking with that ever since. But he did tell me about a time you two almost got arrested.
Yeah, that was exactly the same day when we got like that 200 no landed clips. So that was a horrible day actually. Why would he tell you that?
Was that the day he bruised his heels on the stair set? Was it that day?
Exactly
Right,
that
okay.
day. So a lot of things happened that day. We were trying to get a couple of street clips done, and usually you go over you go across the border to Liechtenstein or Switzerland or whatever, and the spots there are way better than here. And we were like, all right, let's do this. All right, it was about -3 degrees or -5 maybe. We're like, never mind, we have to do it. There's tomorrow is supposed to be even worse. Then it started raining, and we just went to the border. Like I was driving, and they pulled us out, and they were like, "Where are you going?" We're like, "We're trying to skate," and they're like, it's -5 degrees weather, and at that point it started raining too. And they're like, all right, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Then I forgot my driver's license. He forgot his passport. So we were just, we could have been
Anyone? Yeah.
yeah. And they were like, all right, so this is, you're supposed to be living like 5 minutes from here, and he's from England, and you're both going to Liechtenstein to skate. And they were obviously questioning our story. So we opened the trunk to show them the skates, and I still forgot my chalk bag from when I was going to climb. I'm usually climbing during summer, and I forgot that. So it just looked like a big bag of cocaine in the back.
Yeah, I see where this is going.
I opened the trunk. And I'm like, fuck. You wouldn't believe what this is. Like I'm not only skating, I'm also climbing. And she's like, yeah, sure. I kind of believe you. I try to believe you at this point, but then they had to check, like physically check everything if we were smuggling drugs or whatever. And it was horrible. But at the same time, it was probably the funniest story ever. Like Connor was still pretty hungover, and I was trying my best to, yeah, I think I was hungover too, so I shouldn't have been driving at that point. But we got out safe. They even let us across the border and let us skate. But yeah.
Oh, how much better would it have been though if he got Connor drunk and then the next day he got accused of drug smuggling and got a rectal examination all in the one weekend and bruised his heels. That would have been the best skate trip ever.
Exactly. That pretty much sums up the skate trips with Connor, or at least his skate trips to when he comes visit us.
Right. Cool. Noted. Congratulations on the new sponsor, USD Skates, with the intro section that came out yesterday. When did you get on them? And
I think that was
how
about,
did you get on USD?
I mean, so I officially quit REMS in November. And after that, I was like, all right, what should I try next? So the market's pretty much open now. I could buy any skate I want. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go for them skates. They were kind of, yeah, they looked interesting. And I mean, Marius skates them and Fabian skates them. And I was like, all right, they got to be cool to skate or whatever. So I tried those for, I don't know, a month or two. No, it was exactly a month basically. And then I saw the sways and I was like, all right, let's go for the sways now. I like the dem skates, but I wasn't done trying other skates. And then I had the sways, and I posted a clip of them, and Eugen was like, hey, can I repost it on the USD page? And then we were just texting back and forth, and he was like, yeah, if you like the skates, we might have an open spot for you. Just text me whatever if you feel like it. And I just kept skating the sways for a few weeks, and I was like, all right, I feel like those skates might be they might fit even better than the dem skates. And I was getting really comfortable with it, so I was like, all right, let's go for it if it works. And I think about a week later, I got the email from Sam, where he officially introduced me to the team. And I was like, all right, let's get to work now. Try to get an edit done, at least before summer, because I think they have a team video planned in spring or summer, and I wanted to be announced before that came out, and not just to be having some random clips in a mixed video, you know.
Okay, so
That's
right, so
pretty much it.
with the sways that you're skating in the introduction edit, you bought those,
The white ones, yes.
right?
And I mean, what am I talking about? I only skate the white ones.
Yeah.
I changed the sole plates at one point because I got the black sways too, and those I got for free. And I thought, all right, I don't feel like going to black skates now, so I just changed the sole plates and kept skating those for now.
Ah, right. Okay.
But I have it on the side.
Nice. So, are there any other models you're wanting to try, or are you want to stick with the sways for now?
I'm really into the sways for now. I feel like the Aeons might be worth trying. I don't feel like the carbon freeze might fit my foot or my style or whatever. I don't really. I haven't tried them. I haven't even met someone around here who has them, so I could just try them on. So maybe one day, but for now, I'm gonna stick with the sways.
I would have thought you might have
Feel like
liked like the carbon or the carbon freeze because they've got a kind of similar aesthetic to Rems.
Yeah, I mean, I heard when Ryan Parker was talking about them, I was like, all right, they might be even a better fit than the sways, but I don't know. It's just something like this voice inside of my head keeps telling me, all right, now you found a skate that you really like. Stick to it now, and maybe one day you'll try another skate. I'm really focused on that one model all the time. It's just like always the same frames and always the same boot. That's why it
Skates
took
are
me.
yeah, skates are really weird. I think that's one of the things that makes like rollerblading like less accessible than other extreme sports because like with skateboarding, unless you're, amazing at skateboarding, you can just pick up any skateboard and be able to use it. It doesn't have to be
Yeah,
the perfect thickness or whatever. And with a BMX,
true.
as long as it's in the general size that you can fit on, you can just adjust the saddle. Same with, like a scooter. But with skates, I can think of maybe 5 skates I've ever worn. Like I've rollerbladed like 25 years. I can think of like 5 skates I've ever worn that don't hurt my feet.
That's crazy. Like, but I know what you're saying because once this kid at the skate park came up to me and he was like, he wants to try skates, and I had some skates in the back of my trunk, so I told him he could try some of them out, and I opened my trunk, and I was like 5 pairs of skates, and each one was a different kind of skate, and I was like, you have to try basically all of them,
Right.
so you know if there's actually one that really fits your foot, or if it's just like you said, there's so many different just types of feet and all that. Like I have really wide feet, and for instance, some of the razors boots didn't really fit me, and I was worried that the sways might be too narrow for my feet, just like the Dems were in the beginning at least. And yeah, so you basically have to you have to try a lot of skates, but once I feel like I found a skate that fits my foot, I don't want to change anymore, you know.
Yeah. Plus, it's annoying.
No.
Like it's annoying. Like relearn. Well, not relearning, but just you always have to adjust your skating a little bit for each skate that you try, because some tricks, like them, I find them harder to do negatives in, so I just stop
Yeah.
doing them as much. Or you get other, you get other skates that are easier for top sides, like things like Rems that have got like nice flex, or like Fifth Elements that have got a lot of flex. So top sides just become really easy, and you start doing a lot more of them. And yeah, so I find that if you're changing skates all the time, each time you're just kind of continuously having to get comfortable on them again. And I don't understand why anyone would want to do that.
Yeah, and when I was 13, I switched from Genesis to SLs and lost my Torx, and I was so mad. Like I like I put on the skates, and they felt all right and whatever, but like after 2 months of skating, I didn't really get a good feeling on the Torx, and I was like, is this the right thing? Should I just go back to the old Genesis? Should I like just dusted up skate? Should I just put them back on my feet? Yeah,
And
it's horrible.
there's certain tricks you're willing to give up. Like there's certain ones that you're like, oh, I don't really do that much anyway, or I don't really enjoy them that much. Yeah, I can lose those. And then there's other ones that are like deal breakers, and you're like, no, I'm not skate. If I can't do this trick, I'm not skating these skates. So yeah. Back to the promo. Promo was amazing. Really liked it. I liked the Mistral, the top Mistral, switch and natural. But I've got a few bones to pick with you. One,
All right.
do you top sole and sole on different feet, or is one of them
Yes.
switch? I thought that you're one of those weirdos. I knew it, because you do the drop rail, the curved sole, and it's on
Yes.
your right foot, but then you do top soles. Every time I've seen you do a top sole on your left foot.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Yeah, I basically learned the top soles from the switch up. So I learned Mizus and soles with the right foot, and like all of the standards with the right foot. And top sole was the first topside trick to come out of a switch up. So it was just like Mizu top sole or sole top sole, and that's how we learned it. I learned on the flat rail. So the first time I tried it on a ledge, it went horribly because I didn't really know how to actually bend that topsail with the left foot, but I kind of got the feeling to it, so I just put in the extra effort and learned it that way, and now it's just the regular topsail. It doesn't make any sense.
You fish brain with the opposite foot that you topsail with. That's weird.
Yes.
Can you switch fish brain then?
Not really. So I always try my best, and sometimes on a good day, like on a flat rail, I might be able to switch fish quite easily, and there are just other days where I just don't feel like it, and it doesn't work at all.
Okay.
No feeling at all.
Yeah, right. I thought, because I watched your intro one, and then I was like, wait a minute, am I just imagining this? And I went back and watched your other sections, and I was like, he never topsoles with the other foot, but he always soles with that. And I was like, right, okay. I thought that's what might be happening. There was something else. You're sponsored by Red Eye Wheels, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you weren't wearing red. You weren't the Red Eye don't make green wheels.
When are they green?
In your USD introduction edit, you're skating a flat setup of like greeny blue wheels.
All right, that is my bad on the color correction, like, or maybe the camera settings. No, I got the teal ones.
What ones are those?
The new 55 millimeter ones.
Oh, right. Okay. I thought you
Yeah.
might have
No,
been
I
skating
skated the whole
some.
setup, same setup for the whole video.
Okay. I thought you might have been, because I know you're a fan of Basement, so I thought you might have been rocking some Basement dead wheels and just got busted for it.
All right, no, but I'm gonna be more careful to like really show the real colors of the wheels, so no
Okay.
one's ever gonna call me out on that
Are
again.
they, so have Red Eye wheels, have they released these wheels yet? Or are they not out yet? I don't think I've ever seen
I
those.
think I think they released it now. There's been so many delays last year on the red eye lines, and then on every skate I basically was interested in. And I think they finally shipped them out to shops, but I have no idea. I got a box full of wheels here, so
Right.
I'm covered. I don't care.
Is it someone's pro wheel or is it just a
It's a
generic?
yeah, just a regular one,
Right.
team
Okay.
wheel.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I've seen those ones yet. Um, all right. Okay. I did notice there's only one negative about your USD introduction section. You've committed one of the
Right.
ultimate Bladen edits sins. You've used a song that's already been used.
Again, yeah, someone told me already. Like, I tried my best. I asked Marius for the if he had a good song that I could use for my introduction, and he sent me a Spotify playlist. And out of all the songs that he listed, I actually chose the one that's been used.
Right.
Apparently, I don't even know which video. So
Oh, did the person not tell you what video it was?
no,
Right. Okay. Do you know who Jochen Schmuda is?
yes,
Right. Do you remember the
of course,
clip video series? It was like a European video
yes.
magazine. I think it was either the second one or the third one. They had like a montage in it, and it definitely
Oh,
used that
yeah.
because as soon as it came on, I was like,
Oh,
I know
okay.
this. So yeah, that's pretty. But we'll let it slide. Quite a lot of people have been doing it recently. I had to give who else? Casey Garrity did it recently. He took one from Vine Street, which I was like, you've definitely seen Vine Street, and
Really?
it wasn't. It was like the second. Pretty sure it was the second Vine Street as well. And he was just like, oh, must have not remembered. And
Really? I don't
he had his like,
in what video.
I think it was the first quesadilla section maybe, and it had the song from one of the like OG section in Vine Street too.
All right, I'm gonna write that down. I wanna watch that later. I mean, I've seen it already, obviously, but I didn't really pay attention to the song that much. So
Um, so you must have made that section in quite a small space of time then, because and I've noticed this
yeah,
as well that you must have there can't be hardly any spots out your way because in at least 3 or 4 of your most recent sections there's repeated spots like the drop rail,
yeah.
the ledge outside the skate park. I love how you can see you skating a ledge but you can see the skate park in the background and you're like, why are you not skating the skate park? The little rail that you do the zero fish in, that's been in quite a few of your sections as well.
Which one now?
Is it zero
Ah,
fish?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
And I've noticed
Yeah,
there's quite a few spots, but then you've got good
yeah.
spots that don't get repeated. You've got a chrome undercover rail, the one that you do. What are you doing it? I think it's near Farewell Rims edit. You do a cab driver down it, and it's like that seems like the perfect spot. It's a chrome rail on the
It's
left.
it's in Liechtenstein. We can't go there right now. It's
Right.
pretty
Okay.
strict, actually. So yeah, that's the problem. That's why there's so little diversity in spots in this video. So the spots that I skate in this video are strictly just around here, like maximum 20-minute radius with car.
Right. Okay. So when you got on USD, do they tell you like, do you have an official position, or do they just say, you know, we're just going to hook you up with skates? Like, how did they give it a name or a label or anything?
No, there's no label to it yet, and question being asked, I'm actually curious myself right now. So this is something that I got to bring up. Well, I'm gonna wait a bit now and see how well the announcement edit actually turns out, and then
I don't know. It seems to be going
I'm
down
gonna
well. I looked at the comments, and the comments were looking positive. No one seemed to have anything bad to say. Yeah, because it would be interesting to see if they're putting you on like Flow or Am, or you mentioned. So Sam's obviously mentioned as well, and I think who else? There was someone else who had it. I think it was Eugen said that there was meant to be a European tour last year to film for a video, and it never happened because of coronavirus. That they're planning on doing this year. Has there been any talk of you being allowed to go on the trip with them, or is it only the pro riders that are allowed to go on it?
I think it's this is only for the pros. I only know that they want to make a team video with clips from everybody just from their hometown.
Okay.
But I haven't heard about a tour yet, so I'm gonna sneak in on that one.
Yeah, maybe that. I just know that last year they were planning on hitting a few places around about Europe with the guys in the pro team, but it never happened.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So have they told you like what's expected of you, or what you need to do to keep getting, like, do they expect you to put out, I don't know, a section for every pair of skates you get, or is there an agreement at all?
Yeah, basically just I'm not sure if it was for every pair of skates I get, but I have to make like full sections here and there, and they really rely on the social media presence.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be a problem, but as for right now, I can't get any more clips. It's snowing again, and so
But now you've got a
just like,
section worth of stuff. You can just put out like a clip every few days, and that'll last you weeks.
yeah, and so that my whole section is on my Instagram, clip for clip. Yes, yes, exactly. That's
Or
perfect.
each day, just put up, see if you've got like the B-roll, like the slams for each, like, so you can show you attempting each trick. You can be like, oh, here's what happened on that trick. Here's what happened on that one. And then it can be like, I'm trying to help
I
you
don't
out
have
here,
too
right?
many
I'm trying
calls,
to make this
actually.
last. I'm trying to make it,
Yeah.
you can drag out this
Thank
section
you.
as long as
Yeah.
possible on social media.
I'm trying my best on that one anyway, but to be honest, I don't have too many faults from my last video. It actually happened quite well, except for that top mistral bail, which you can see right at the beginning of when I posted the raw clips at the end of my of the announcement video.
On the curve rail.
That was probably one of the worst falls I took in a long time. Like, it doesn't look that bad, but it just, like, I fell on my stomach, and it just, like, the whole pressure from my stomach just went up my ribs, and then like in my throat and my head, and I had a really bad headache afterwards, and I was like, all right, am I having a stroke now, or what's happening? This is really bad. And it was only my second try, and I couldn't let the trick go, and I was like, all right, no, I have to land it now. It, like, you can't just get hurt and then leave on this trick. Like, this is not like falling down a big drop or whatever.
Yeah.
Can at least fight through that.
That would be the natural top mistral.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. See, I'm figuring it out now. I'm figuring out your weird approach to blading. Right?
No, you were only guessing. You can't know that.
I think no, because you do all the other top sides on that foot, but you do the top sole and the other foot. Yeah, I think I've figured it out now.
But every one of my friends does the top mistral with the left foot, because we all do Royale with the right foot. So you have the backslide, and that's why I was the switch top mistral worked out pretty well, actually, and that's why for some time I tried doing top mistral regularly with the left foot, but it didn't really work out. I don't feel safe on that.
I think that's one of those tricks that's actually quite easy to do, switching natural, because you can do it natural like it's a Royale, and then you can do it switch like it's a sweat stance, but you just tweak your back foot. So I think it's one of those ones you can kind of cheat.
Yeah, it's probably the easiest one to do switch. I, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, like I'm terrible at Switch, and that's one of the few ones that I can do. So yeah, I would agree. You're also so you're sponsored by, is it Blade Life as well and Red Eye Wheels? So
Exactly.
how did you get on them? Because like Greg's got a really weird team of just random people from all over the place that I'm guessing he's just met on trips or talked to online. But it's when you actually like list them all together, you're like, they're from really all over the place, because you've got like Bobby from
Yeah.
Israel, you've got Francis Ali he's from Switzerland, isn't he, or Belgium?
Now he's from Belgium.
Belgium, yeah. Right, and then you've got random Austrian guy.
Yeah, just that one Austrian kid no one talks about. Yeah. Yeah, you got Josh Glowicki,
Exactly, yeah.
Prado. I think Bernal is on the team as well.
I think so, yeah, yeah.
Even I lost track of
Yeah,
it.
there's a lot, yeah. Kaleo as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get on?
Didn't Greg tell you anything? Didn't you like try to get a good Greg story out of that too?
No, I didn't. I should have asked Greg. That would have been, see, amateur. See, you should be helping me. Do the
I
research for
am
these
now
interviews.
for
Yeah.
next time.
Well, it's too
Yeah.
late. It's too late. But yeah. So, how did you end up getting on Blade Life?
I'm glad you didn't ask Greg at that point because he would have been talking shit anyway. So I don't know if you saw this once. He did a Q&A on Instagram, just like where anyone could just type in random questions,
Okay.
and he, as the Blade Life account, answered them. And there was this one question where someone asked if they had a team. So he just listed the whole team, and then in the end he said, "And yes, even you, Michael Witzemann, you're also on the team." So like really just right at the bottom, just so you can read it. So like even you, bottom drawer.
So how?
But
Because I've seen that you've been in previous videos they've done as well. There was one. There was one where they went on like a European trip, and you had a couple of clips in that.
in Poland.
That's the one. Yeah.
I was in Poland, yeah. That was I mean, I actually meant to join the trips afterwards, but I couldn't join because I was busy with school and I didn't have any money. But I mean, money wise, it wouldn't have been a problem, but I just couldn't get any time off school, which sucked. But yeah, I mean, when did I get on Blade Life? I don't even remember that.
I was about to say, can you remember how you got on? Because
No,
you're
like
looking puzzled right now.
yeah, I'm really trying to figure that out. Like I was wearing Blade Life long before that. Like I was probably always the first one to buy their stuff. Like right when it came out. Like I like being labeled Blade Life. I'm always wearing stuff where it says Blade Life.
Okay.
Just I'm really rocking with that with the brand name just itself. And I think at one point, Greg just noticed that I've been putting out a lot of content on Instagram and I've been present on many contests. So he was like, yeah, he really, he told me that he was really liking it, that I'm always representing Blade Life and I'm always wearing their shit when I'm filming stuff or when I'm at contests. And at one point, he just added me to a Facebook Messenger group, and I didn't know what group that was because there was no title to it. And then Bobby just randomly texted, fresh blood. And I was like, all right, I think I know what's going on. And then he just introduced me. He didn't even ask me if I wanted to join. He assumed that I would be happy to join.
Well, saves you buying all their clothes now. You can now get some stuff for
Yeah.
free. Yeah, job done.
Sure.
So how did you end up getting on Red Eye Wheels then? Because that's quite random for a company that's based in Florida, I think it is, to pick up. Yeah.
That was actually super random because I saw this new Instagram channel which was called Red Eye Wheels, and they just had this weird announcement, and I didn't know what to do with it. They just where it just said something new is coming up, or I don't know. Did you see that? It was like 2 years ago.
I think, yeah, maybe. I can't remember, but it sounds familiar.
And then they just announced the wheels and the first riders, and I saw the red 55 millimeter wheels, and I was like, all right, those look really cool. But they're not here in shops, and every time I ask a shop owner if they were getting the wheels, they were like, yeah, we have to wait until they reach out to us or whatever. So I thought I'd just text them on their channel. They'll probably be really responsive since it's a new channel. And I was like, if they had contacts with a shop in Europe, or if they were shipping stuff over to Europe, or if I could just order it at their online store or whatever.
Yeah.
And the response I got was, hey, now that you're asking, why don't you want to just join the team? And then, by the way, it's John From. And I was like, all right. So this was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like, they just randomly asked if I wanted to join. And like, yeah, I was trying to just try some wheels, like I'm always trying. I was always trying different wheels because every set lasts about 2 weeks max. And
Even when you're skating flat.
No, I mean, when I was skating flat, it was actually up to 2 months, but still not that long in my opinion.
Because you keep mentioning skating flat on 55s. Like, if you're skating flat on 55s, surely they should be lasting a fair amount of time.
They do now. Yeah, I think. Yeah, but I think before I tried, I think the last one I tried was Eulogy, and for some reason Eulogy never worked with me. Like, okay. I tried them for 3 or 4 times, and they just kept breaking. They just kept crumbling under my feet at one point. Yeah, I was skating them for 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, even when I was skating flat, and then they just missed a piece, or yeah.
I haven't skated Eulogies in years, but yeah, I used to skate them anti, and they were all right. Skating flat 55 is quite an old school setup. Like, that's the kind of flat setup that pro skaters used to ride in like the late 90s. Where does that come from?
The whole thing, skating flat in general, came just when I think Marius was the first one to try skating flat.
Okay.
And I noticed that he was really enjoying it, and then I noticed on several social media platforms that Austin Pass was really promoting flat skating like 4 years ago, maybe already. And he actually wrote an article of to why it's better to skate flat. And he actually wrote there that he used to skate 55 flat, and it's the best setup that he could imagine. And somehow that just stuck with me.
So
and I was
you get sucked in. So Austin Paz is responsible for you skating flat, right? Okay.
Yeah, Austin Pass definitely made a big impact on that.
Okay, I thought it might be like a basement connection or something, because I know that the Kelsos skate really small wheels in flat setup, which I just find quite funny, because it's like, if you're skating wheels that small, it's basically an anti-rocker setup, because the wheels
that so many times,
they're not that much bigger than grind wheels. So you're like, okay, cool. I don't really know how much benefit you get from skating that small. If the wheel's that small, even if it's flat, it's I don't know.
I don't know. Didn't they at some point sell 52 or 53 millimeter with
loads of pro wheels, like Julian actually, even not that long ago, Murder One wheels, Julian Ba's pro wheel, I'm pretty sure it was like 52 millimeters. Loads of pro skaters used to have, like Josh Petty, like Julio, I'm pretty sure they had like small flat setup wheels in the low 55s. It was a strange trend. I think they took it from like skateboarding or something, because skateboarding used to have really small wheel setups. But yeah, it was a weird one. I guess the frame technology wasn't there either as well. The frames all had like really small H blocks. So if you tried to have 58s in there and did like a Royale or a backslide, you'd die. So
straight up die instantly.
So how long you were riding? You said that you quit REMS in November. How long were you riding REMS for?
I was on REMS for Uh, 4 years now.
I was because I was like, it feels like it's been a few years, like at least 3 years, right? Okay,
But I was skating the skates for, I think, even 2 years before that.
right.
So I was always, yeah, like I told you, I was sticking to Rams because they fit my feet and they felt comfortable. And so I just kept going with the new model they were releasing,
Okay.
which was, by the end of it, was just that one for 2 years.
I was about to say, when was the last time they even released a skate? Because they didn't release one. They didn't release one in 2020, and did they have one in 2019?
Yes, they had one in 2019. I think they dropped it in October.
Okay,
The HR 2.5, the all black skate with a
right.
spider on the back.
I remember
Thank you.
seeing the spider graphic thing. Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I got a prototype of that in, I think, late July or mid August or something, and that was actually the last skate I got.
Wow. That is, well, considering how much you skate, that is a long time to be stuck with the what
You wouldn't want to see the skate now, like what it looks like now.
looks like someone's ran over it with a car. Right. Cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um, like how did you even manage to keep skating it that long? Was it not? Did you not have to like change every part on it?
Yeah. At first it worked out pretty well. Like I was always asking for new sole plates and backside plates right before they broke off. Like especially on the right foot where you do Royale cess slides, just the one part of the sole plate always breaks off.
Yeah.
So when before that happens, I see it. I texted Marco, "Can you send me some new stuff?" That always worked. But at some point, it just like I think it was with the beginning of 2020, even before the whole Corona thing, uh, I just didn't get any response anymore. And the only person that actually told me what was happening with Rems or what's happening in general with the brand or with the distribution was Yotzeng. He
Okay.
was the only one who actually knew something and was actually took the time to text me the whole situation.
So when you say Marco, you mean Marco that works at Sunshine Distribution in Germany. So,
Yes.
and he was always good at responding to you before.
Yes.
But so did you ever like email him or phone him and just say, what's happening with Rems? Or did you ask
Yeah,
him
sure, sure, I did.
and you got no response?
At first, sometimes no response, and then I was texting like, "Hey, dude, I really need new parts or a new skate. Actually, at this point, what's happening?" And then I got a response: "Sorry, we don't have anything here. Um, I'll hit you up if we got something." And that was it. I'm like, "Do you even know when that's gonna be? Like,
Yeah.
I can't skate trash skates forever. Like, summer's about to come up, and I don't want to be the guy at the skate park with the most fucked up skates."
you're like
Which
you're like
which ended
aren't you meant to be sponsored? And you're like, yeah. And you're like, aren't you meant to get free stuff? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, why does your skates look like shit?
that's been kind of the running gag through the whole last year. Like the whole group chat always, every time something bad comes up, they're like, "Yeah, this could have happened to you as well, right?"
You're like, Mikhail, are you coming out with your homeless person skates today? You're like, yes,
Yeah,
yes, I am.
exactly.
Thank you. Yes. Do they have bullet holes in them yet? Um, Yikes. So that is like that's kind of been a running theme with the podcast. Whenever I speak to anyone that's skated for Sunshine, they've always said the same thing, that the communication has just been terrible. And that's been one of the main reasons why they've left, because even when they've asked direct questions, being like, when is this happening? Or when am I getting this? Or, what's happening with this? They just won't get a response, or they'll get a response and then speak to a fellow team rider. And the other team rider's like, oh, I get told the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
So you're saying you were asking for parts, you were asking for skates, and not only were they saying, you can't get them right now, but when you're like, well, can you tell me when? They're like, no.
Yeah, exactly. That was the one response that I got through the whole year. I was like, "Do you have stuff now? Like do you have stuff lying around now? I need new sole plates. At least that. Come on, man. Like my skates are falling apart. No, we don't have anything. And one time this is a good moment now. Once I actually got the response that if I needed new parts, I can get them for 50% off. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you're actually trying to sell this now.
So it went from we have no stock to give you to
it was the other way around. First it said only with 50% off, and I'm like, what the hell's happening now? I need my stuff. This was never like this. I know that coronavirus and all this kind of taking a bad turn here, but still, this is sole plates I'm asking for. It's not like I need a lot of things.
Yeah. Plus,
and then afterwards, we don't have anything anyway.
Plus, if there's a change in terms to your sponsorship, it's their responsibility as the company sponsoring you to tell you that and be like, oh, you don't get free stuff anymore because, you're a flow rider or whatever, and say, this is what the new situation is. But if you're just asking for stuff and they're like, oh, well, it'll cost this. And you're like, whoa, what? Wait a minute. What? Why is it suddenly costing anything?
Yeah. It's like all of a sudden this happened. And but like I said, afterwards, it was just like, there's nothing around anyway. And then in the summer, Yo once posted a picture of a package he just received with new skates and spare sole plates and frames and everything. I was like, what's happening now? Am I getting stuff too now? And he said, he really had to put pressure on the brand now. I'm like, all right, I can try that too. And I was like, all right, now he's just he must have got this stuff lying around, so he probably has something for me too. So I just texted them again, and they were like, no, they tried their best and they were searching around in all the warehouses and whatever to get this stuff done for Yo. There's nothing else around. And I'm like, dude, just tell me that you don't feel like looking for stuff and you don't feel like looking after your team riders. At this point, I was really pissed. And I mean, I was playing with the thought of leaving, but that actually sealed the deal. I was like, all right, so nothing works. I waited a whole summer for new parts. Everyone's making fun of my skates. Skating's not fun anymore because every time I jump off a ledge, my skates could fall apart. This is not really fun, yeah.
Plus, it's just such a kind of strange. You would think, I would start to get the impression if I was you that they were like, oh, maybe they just don't want to sponsor me anymore. Maybe they're not. But it kind of sounds like just all production slowed down or production just stopped and they just didn't want to tell anyone.
Yeah, kind of, but that's why we kept asking if the brand is going down. Are you closing your doors? Because I would like to know that.
Yeah.
But I think they're at that point now. It's just time to tell everyone. But I don't know. Maybe they got new projects in the works, top secret or whatever. But
they can have all the new projects in the works they want. They don't have any team riders.
Exactly.
I literally can't think of a single person still skating Rems that was known as being a member of their team.
I mean, Rob from Australia is still skating Rems, and
Rob
he's
Kellett,
frequently getting and he's frequently.
Is he on the team?
Skates.
I didn't know if he was sponsored by Rems or not. Okay.
He is on the team, and Kato actually meant to put him on M, but that was right before everything kind of shut down.
Okay.
Like the whole communication just shut down at that point.
Did anyone, did you or Yo or anyone, because, who was the Latvian? Was it Estonia?
Evert.
Evert, is it Lubka? Oh, I'm going
I
to
think
butcher
it's
his name.
Lubia, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Did any of you guys reach out to Kato to see if he had anything to say about it? Because
course.
I know that he's obviously, I think he's sold most of it or part of it or whatever to Sunshine. I know they've owned a part of it for years, but you would think that if you contacted him or a bunch of riders for his brand contacted him, he would at least have the good manners to respond.
I actually I reached out to Chris Heffy at one point because I thought he would be the only guy who had Kato's phone number.
Mm-hmm.
So I would text him on his phone, and I got a response once, which was just like, "Yo, Mike, what's up?" And from that point on, I think he blocked me. Like, it feels like it because I haven't got a response ever since.
Haffy blocked you, or
No, not
Kato did?
Heffy, Kato.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But,
So Haffy passed on his details for you to contact him, right?
yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I skipped a few steps there.
So, and he's never responded to any like social media messages or like Facebook or Instagram or anything.
No.
That's so strict.
And
Like,
I wasn't. I thought. Sorry. I thought I wouldn't put any pressure on because like Corona hit some people really bad, and you don't know what people are dealing with in life personally. So I just thought, all right, you take your time, but I think after 6 months, you would have the time, like 5 minutes, to just respond and tell me this is the case and this is where we're going. That's all I was asking, actually.
yeah, it's strange that they would just give no update, because even if the brand was dying, you would at least think, you know, everyone's already got that impression anyway. Like everyone on social media already thinks Rems is dead. So what difference does it make telling people, like just confirming it and going, yeah, we're done? Or at least trying to save some reputation and being like, oh, things are just taking a little while, but we'll be back up and running soon.
Yeah, I think we're actually even past the point now where people are asking, is Rems still alive? Like that question. I haven't read that question in a while. I think people are just assuming now, all right, it's gone. Like everyone left and there's no update from the brand either. No statement to what's happening. So
yeah. Oh yeah. And it's pretty much impossible to get their skates. Yeah. But you said Yozenk got a package last summer, but he basically quit like a few months later. Like he put up a post on social media maybe 3 or 4 months later. So you're saying he got a new pair of skates last summer in 2020? Yeah.
Somewhat last summer, I think in July or August also. He got a new skate and a new package and all that. I remember that was actually furious because he got that. He got a
How come he gets it? How come he gets it?
Exactly. I mean, I get it. He's pro and all, and he's the last pro that was on the brand at that point. But I'm the only other rider on the team. So there's two.
It's a pretty small team, yeah.
And I mean, see, if we were like 50 people and they were like, all right, we got 3 pros and they get stuff, the rest has to wait, I would get that. But this is only one other person. And I feel like at that point, it was just like, all right, you just try it. You just figure it out on your own. I mean, you got stuff to work with at home, like duct tape or whatever, fix your skates.
You know, I don't.
They didn't say that. They didn't say that, but I felt like they were trying me.
Okay. I mean, the only people that should be duct taping their skates are like teenagers who can't afford new skates, or you know, if you live in a third world country and you cannot access skates. No one in the Western world, you know, should be in that position where you're having to do that.
Yeah, so I thought at that point, yeah, no point of me just sticking to something that's going nowhere. Like I wanted to skate. I just, in the end, I just wanted to skate skates that are not totally ripped.
I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to say. I think most people, you know, I don't even want to skate skates that are particularly, you know, if they're dirty enough, I'll clean them to make them look better. Like, I don't want them falling apart on me.
Same.
Right. Okay. So it seems to have worked out well, though. You're on USD now. Thing could be the start of something. Like where would you like it to go with the brand? Like, do you have any like aspirations or hopes to take it anywhere? Or
Yeah, I mean, aside from the typical thing, like just a big house in California, pro status, and a good salary.
right, you want to live the Razor's dream? Well, you need to get back on Sunshine. You need to be nice to Andy now. You've
Yeah, like just try to party with him on Miami Beach or whatever.
I mean, Andy does like to party. Andy does like to party. I've seen some very good memes about
Yes.
Andy and his partying. Yeah. Um,
Yes, and if you follow the right people on Instagram, you see some really funny reposts of his stories, which, yeah, it's been a good laugh here and there, but kind of it kind of makes like leaves no question open why so many people left Razors too. Like I don't know what happened with Razors, but I'm guessing it's just the same thing. Same thing with Rams.
I mean, it kind of seems like Andy is the problem. It seems like most people have a problem with Andy, and that's why they're leaving Razors. Yeah. People keep sending me memes. Like people, I don't follow him on Instagram, like his personal account, but people who do will screenshot his Instagram stories and then make memes out of it and just be like, it'll be like, you know, sorry, Derek, no royalties this month. Things are really tight, and it's like him on a beach and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not posting this. I'll get killed. So yeah, but I've had some really funny ones. All right, okay. So do you keep in touch with any of the guys that were on Rems, like Yo or any of the other guys, or
Basically with all of them, yeah.
okay?
Like um I frequently text Joe just about like what he's doing now. Like I don't even know what his plans are now, if he's hooked up by Rosies or whatever.
Oh yeah, because he's riding Fifth Elements. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know where he's going with it. But I'm guessing Rosies reacted to it. I mean, I guess it would be a smart move of them. Or actually, I'm sure it would be a smart move of them.
Um, yeah, I mean, he puts in the work. He's friends with Bobby, so yeah, could be. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
I would have
Yeah, and
thought
the
he
others.
would have used his Eugen Ennen connection because him and Eugen skate together a bunch and they've made edits together. So I'd have been like deet deet deet. So
Yeah, that I thought too. Yeah, like I thought so too. Like it would have been probably the easiest way for him to just get on another brand, but I'm guessing he likes the Fifth Element so much that he's just stuck with those.
maybe yeah.
Probably.
So you said I'm sure you said to me you were doing like online classes today. Or is that for college or university or what? What is it?
Nursing school.
Okay. Whoa. Right. How the hell are you meant to do that remotely?
Um, yeah, I mean, we do have certain things that you can only do in person, obviously. But if it's just about learning theoretical stuff, you can just always learn that on Zoom, which is horrible. We've been doing that for a whole year now.
Yeah. And it's plus it's going to get to well from people. My partner's a doctor, and she's basically saying that like people that are still in university, they're either going to have to do an extra year or do an extra whatever because there's just practical things that they cannot learn from like studying on a computer, and it wouldn't be safe for them to go into the workplace not having had the experience or not having done such and such.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine it's that much different for nursing. Like what kind of nursing is it you're studying?
Um, like what did you ask now? What kind of?
Yeah, like what nurse are you like? Because obviously there's different types. There's like there's psychiatric, there's pediatric, there's or is it
This is
just
just like a general
okay?
the school in general. So to become a nurse, if you want to go to any specific kind of station, you have to do an extra year at school or
Right.
just learn while you're at work. Um, but I'm in the third year now already, and we did lots of practical stuff in the first and the second year, and we still have like some days we have practical classes, which is just like 4 people from the class or 5 people from the class, which is super weird. But I think we can, or I'm sure we can just finish like every other class. We don't have to do an extra year or whatever. But it sure is weird. But I think we did learn the basics, everything you need to know and everything you need to have learned. We still have the regular exam in the end, or all the exams in the end. So nothing has changed on that point. It's just harder to learn the theoretical parts because you're mostly just at home and teaching them all to yourself. You just have your big ass books in front of you. And
yeah, I imagine it's got to be difficult to stay motivated because at least if you're going to, is it college or university? College?
I think it counts as a college. It's definitely no university, but
like at least if you're going there, you've got your friends or your schoolmates it makes it a little bit easier to study when you've got other people to study with. When you're doing it on your own, it's like that takes a lot of motivation to be able to keep stimulating yourself to do it.
Definitely, yeah. Like you really feel the difference. Like the other day, I just woke up 5 minutes before the lesson and I just turned in, camera off, and then I just back to sleep, just drop back dead. Yeah.
They're like, Mikhail, are you there? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, one of your eyes is closed. you okay? Why can we see your bed? What was that?
I actually once missed a question. Like they were actually calling me out and they were like, Michael, could you answer me that question? I got a question for you. I didn't even notice they were talking to me. Like just in the end, I somehow heard, all right, it seems like Michael's not here. All right, I'm gonna check that later. And I was like, all right, now this is taking bad turns now.
Wait a minute, they call you Michael. So does literally everyone pronounce your name wrong?
No, they call me Michael.
Right.
Obviously.
Okay. Right.
But
okay, right.
I think it sounds kind of weird when you're talking English all the time and then you just drop that Michael, just in the middle of it. Doesn't really fit.
Yeah, it's got to be so irritating coming from a country where like English isn't the first language, and then you've obviously spent all this time learning English, and then you have to kind of like adjust your like own native words to make them sound more English or something. You're like, why am I having to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be so weird. What have you just done? Like you just took a drink?
My beer just spit at me. Like I put it down and just popped back up.
Right. Okay. I was like, he's gone blind? What's happening? Right. Okay.
Only one eye.
Oh, that's you only need one. So when are you meant to finish your course?
I'm meant to finish on September 1st, and then I have
this
1 month.
Year.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. That's not far. That's like less than 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just finished a big ass paper this month, just in the beginning of this month, and we're basically having exams every other week now. So now it's getting serious, but yeah. I mean,
the end is in sight.
Yes, finally.
So
3 years, no flexibility.
Does that mean this is going to be the summer where you have the big final blowout and try and do as many skate trips as possible and then start work life? Or are you going to start work life and then be like, well, now I'm earning money, now I can go away more? Like, what's the future looking like?
I'm hoping that I could arrange work so I can get to skate more.
Okay.
This is actually the plan for the future is to skate more, or as much as I can right now, because money wise it shouldn't be a problem. I just need to make sure that I don't work too many hours, which shouldn't be a problem right now, and that I actually have the time to skate as well. Like I know a lot of people that are working lots and lots of hours, so they have enough money to to go skate or travel or whatever, and then they don't have the time to travel. So because
That's
they're stuck at work all the
yeah,
time.
that's the problem. Yeah. So it's one of those weird things that when you're younger and your body's in the best condition possible to skate, like, you know, your late teens, early 20s, you've literally got no money or no way to like earn money because you can't get a decent job. Then you get a decent job, and or you get older and you start earning more money, and you're like, oh, I can afford to go to Blading Cup or, you know, like Winter Clash, whatever. And then you're like, but I've got no time to skate. So now I suck at skating, but I've got money to go on these trips. Yeah. Yeah, it's a difficult thing to balance.
I'm trying to make my way through now.
Okay, I hear you. So do you have any plans for this year? Like, have you got? Well, obviously it's coronavirus depending, but you know, have you got anything like planned out? Your friends or anything that you're wanting to do?
Oh man, there's so many things open, like so many plans that I had before that are just now always being pushed back. So basically, I'm trying to get out of the country for a few weeks to skate again, or just somewhere other than the same town as right here. So I just want to get around and skate a bit. No particular plans so far because from what I know, plans are just not gonna happen right now.
Okay.
Because next week they're just gonna tell you, yeah, you can't travel anywhere, and then the week after that they say, all right, we're gonna try it, and then 2 days later they're like, all right, so many corona cases, you're not going anywhere. Happened so many times now.
Okay. Well, to give you a ray of hope, I think we should do a dare, right? We'll do a dare for money, right?
All right.
So I'll pay you 30 euros if you shave Marius Gale's head. The next time you see him, if you shave Marius's head, I'll pay you 30 euros.
I think he would. Yeah. All right. No,
Because
no. I
he
won't
looks
answer.
weird with long hair. I don't like it. I can't. It freaks me every time he puts a clip up on Instagram with those big black curtains. It doesn't look right.
What?
I can't handle it.
I love that.
No, he looked better like with the shaved skin head. I find it so funny as well because when I interviewed him, he was like, "I'm never growing my hair out again." He's like, "It looks so weird." He's like, "I hate it. I look so stupid with long hair." And then he puts up this thing on Instagram and he's got massive black hair. I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, he tried a few interesting things. I would say, like first the blonde hair and now the black hair,
See,
which
I
I
liked
both enjoyed.
I like the blonde. I like the blonde hair. The German Justin Timberlake look. Yeah.
Yeah, that was that really fit the whole vibe. Yeah,
How far
German.
how far away are they from you? Because like you seem to hang about with them like fairly regularly.
So they used to live really close by, like 40 minutes
Okay.
with the car. But now they moved, like both of the brothers moved to Stuttgart, which is 2.5 hours away now.
That's
So
still not that far, but then you're going across
it's,
borders, so that makes it harder. But yeah.
yeah, it's okay. And I try to make my way over there as much as I can, as often as I can. But it's a difference if you have to just travel 40 minutes or 2.5 hours. Obviously.
Obviously, I mean this is true. I live in Scotland. If I drove for like 2.5 hours, I'd be at like the top of the country, and I'm pretty much in like the bottom left right now. So yeah, 2.5 hours, I would reach water. So yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, 2.5 hours in a car is not that. Yeah, I suppose. You know, if you make a weekend out of it, if you go on like the Friday and come back on the Sunday night,
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's what we do anyway. So this is like the typical weekend, just Friday right after like work or school or whatever, just drive up there and hang out until Sunday.
Nice. So I know you've literally just had a section out like yesterday, but what's the next project, or are there any other projects you're working on, or anything that's going to come out this year? Like, have you got anything planned?
Nothing in particular. I'm just trying to get more clips, which is now really hard to do. Like I had kind of I was kind of stressed on the last project because two of the filmers that I had for this video, they moved away. So one of them lives in Germany now, and the other guy is just on tour with his girlfriend in their van. They're just somewhere down in Spain now for climbing and whatever. So those were the two filmers that I filmed most of the tricks of the video for, and now there's basically no one left to film with. Yeah, more or less alone. So the last two clips I filmed, they were filmed by my girlfriend.
I noticed that. I noticed it had a woman. Was it? Oh, what's her name? Florence. Is it beginning with an F?
There's an F, yeah, Fink, Hannah.
That's it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's a bit random. Yeah, that's got to be the girlfriend. That makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You also may notice that two clips are static. That's because they were solo clips.
Right.
So that was just the tripod.
So is this your way of saying the next section is just going to be filmed totally on a 360 cam, and it's just going to be you holding the camera out in front of you?
No.
Oh, I feel like you feel quite strongly about 360 cameras. Okay.
No, I don't. I actually feel like I've seen good footage filmed with it, but I would never do a video just where you can always see my fist like going like this in the bottom of the video. Like I don't really.
You can just set up the tripod and it can follow you around.
Yeah, I've seen it many times, but mostly like if it's mixed in a regular video, like a video that you filmed with another camera, it really takes down the quality. Like, I mean, I have to bring an example here, right?
Okay.
So the Julian Ba video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you
mean.
There
was 360 cam footage in it, and I think this is just not necessary because he had good fisheye clips in it, and then 360 cam footage, and I thought, all right, you just could have gotten someone to film you there because there are people around.
It did look strange because it was like the whole video looked like it was filmed on like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. Yeah. And then there was like two random 360 maybe even only one. I know one of them was the torque slide clip. I remember that.
Yes.
There might have been another one. But yeah, I just remember thinking that kind of looks out of place. Like it doesn't look like it belongs with the rest of the footage. Yeah.
Exactly. So no plans on 360 cam footage in the next video.
That was a tough weekend for Julian. Like Bobby's section came out on the Friday, which was amazing. Sam Croft's video came out on the Friday, which had just like 7 minutes of stunts. And then Julian's came out on the Sunday, was like maybe only less than 2 minutes long, had like 10, 15 tricks max, and it was just nowhere near. Yeah, those guys had obviously put months and months of work into it. And Julian's looked as if it was filmed in like a week.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like I watched the first two promos, the one from Sam and from Bobby, and I was like, all right, this is a solid weekend for inline skating. Like they both dropped something at 100%. I couldn't say anything bad about either one of those projects, and they both it really matched their own style. So I was like, this is like high quality content. And then Julian's piece dropped, and I was like, oh yes, a third one. And after I watched it, I was like, all right.
It was a little disappointing, yeah. And I'm a big Julian fan. Like I think he is.
Same.
I genuinely think he might be one of the most like naturally talented skaters there have ever. He can just seem to do everything. But that one was a little bit disappointing, yeah.
Yeah, I think he just didn't, or at least to me, it feels like he didn't really put that much effort into it, or at least not nearly as much effort compared to the other two guys.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. I mean, the fact that it only had that many clips in it alone shows that not a lot of time was spent on it. But then you don't know what's going on with restrictions, or because
like
I know that Sam's basically took the better part of 2 years or a year and a half or something to film. I think he said. I'm sure he said they started filming it like before coronavirus last year, maybe, or something like that. So yeah, so it'd been
They
going
did
on for
have
a
their
while.
time, yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been rollerblading?
Uh,
I love
that
how
was
when I
quite.
ask you basic questions and you're like, I don't know.
No, it's now 12 years.
That is quite okay. That's a lot longer than I thought it would been because
Years.
someone asked me to get Marius on after we'd done the interview and I'd started doing podcasts, and they were like, "Oh, you need to get him on."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I've already had him on. Like he's got an interview on the website." I was like, "Just go and read that." And they were like, "No, but I want to know how like younger generation get into rollerblading, because obviously I saw it on TV. Like the very first time I saw someone doing a trick on skates was on Sky Sports. So
Mm-hmm.
how did you see rollerblading for the first time?"
Actually, at the point where I was starting to roll around with inline skates, I haven't seen anyone do tricks with it. Like, I just felt like rollerblading was cool. Like, I saw people skating on the streets like with regular rollerblades, and I was like, this looks fun. I want to do that too. And randomly, a guy from my school was just going to the skate park with K2s,
Okay,
and then I met another guy there, and he showed me a video of Chris Haffey. Obviously, you
that'll
have
do
to
it.
start with Chris Haffey video, yeah. And
Although if I saw
at that
Chris, I'd
point, I
be
was hooked.
like, if I saw Chris a Chris Haffey section, I'd be like, I'm not starting rollerblading. Like that looks like that's terrifying because everything he does is huge. So I'd be like, well, I'm never going to be that good.
Yes,
So what's the point?
yeah. Well, at that point, we just watched that, and we couldn't really relate to it, obviously.
Yeah.
So we just saw it, and we're like, yeah, that looks cool. I want to try that, and then yeah, as soon as you try your first trick, you're like, all right, whatever he's doing, it's not possible.
What he's doing is
Just,
really hard. I've just realized how hard
yes,
what he's
this
doing
is
is. Yeah.
this is
I'm
actually harder than you would think. 270 torque on a handrail.
yeah.
I've never. It looked so easy.
How's he jumping off those things that look like two-story buildings? How's that? I don't get it. Right. Okay. He makes those look quite small. That's weird. Yeah,
And
that's
also, we had that conference mag where in the back there was this picture of Demetrius George doing that true spin topsoil on that shoulder high curved ledge,
yeah. I know the
and
one you
we
mean.
only saw the picture. Like, we didn't know what was going on, and we just saw the picture and we're like, how the hell did he get up there? There's nothing. There's nothing that. And we're like, all right, what if he like came in far sight? Is that even possible? And then we were like, all right, maybe he just stood up there and did a fake picture, but then you can see his hair is moving, is
Yeah.
like shaking, and he's looking back, and we're like, he's grinding backwards. How is that possible? And from that on, we just looked at his feet position. We're like, all right, this looks like this, like a soul position, and so on. We started to start our first grinds.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
a really weird approach.
That is, yeah, it's quite funny. Like, obviously, you're at the skate park sometimes, and you'll do a trick, and some little kid will come up to you, and they'll be like, "God, how do you do that?" And I'm like, "Oh, you just practice over and over and over,
Exactly.
and you'll get it. It just takes time." But then with the Demetrius George thing, like, there's people that have been skating for like 10, 15 years, and they see that clip, and they're like, I still don't understand how he does that. Like, he shouldn't be able to jump that high. That doesn't make
No.
sense. Like, he's jumping up to his nipples in a true spin topsoil. Like, true spin topsoils are hard on most things. Never mind, yeah, something that height. But yeah, he's a freak of nature. I don't understand how he can jump that high. It makes no sense.
No. Also, I think true spin topsoils might even be the one trick that I can. How can I say it? Like, this is the one trick where I cannot jump on high spots. Like, I could jump higher in the sole. I could even jump higher in true top horn, but true topsoil just doesn't work on high spots for me.
Oh yeah, because
Doesn't-
your ankles are just in that totally unnatural position on both feet. They're
Yes.
just bent the wrong way on both legs. So yeah, it's not normal to jump that high on that trick.
No, definitely not.
Um, Right. So we've discovered that Demetrius George is a freak of nature, right? And then so what made you stick with it then? Because that's really weird that most I'd seen people rollerblading before in the street and I was like, I've got no interest in that. It looks, it just looks pretty boring just rolling about on skates. But I had no interest in seeing people skateboard down the street either. I was like, oh, it's quite boring too. It was only when I saw someone do a grind on them that I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that. Like that looks fun. So what made you stick with it?
So yeah, I mean, it was one fact that some guys from my school I discovered were rollerblading. So there was already a small group there, but we never really watched videos of pros or anything. There was just this one guy who had videos of Chris Heffy on his phone, and I think a section of Brian Aragon at one point. But we weren't really into watching
All
videos. We
those
were
all
just
those relatable characters, Chris Haffey and Brian Aragon, two of like the
exactly.
most freakishly talented people the sport's ever had. Man, I would probably have quit
Exactly.
just after watching those. I'd be like, nah, this isn't going to happen.
Yeah, we didn't really watch too many videos anyway, so we were just at the skate park trying random weird stuff. And I found actually some of the old tapes. I had a really old camcorder with me, and I filmed some of the tricks we filmed. It was just horrible. It was just straight up the weirdest stuff that you would imagine being done in a skate park. Like no skill at all. We just jumped off this. Like it didn't even make sense. It didn't look good. It was just like, yeah, could you do that? Yes, let's try it. And somehow this was just so fun that I couldn't wait. Like when I got back home, I couldn't wait to go to the skate park the next day.
Okay.
And it was just the thing about trying new tricks and then playing Game of Skates was probably the one point that really made us all stick to it.
Yeah, let's go.
Best thing ever.
There's nothing better than just completely destroying one of your friends at a game of skate. It's great, and then holding it over them for like days and weeks afterwards until you play another game, and you're like, oh, and they start talking shit about you, and you're like, oh, you weren't that great on Thursday though, were you? Like, yeah, when I took all those letters off you.
To this day, I still get made fun of for a game I lost 6 years ago or 7 years ago because I was really bad at doing sweat stands on square ledges, and my friend just did a regular sweat stand 360 out, then a switch sweat stands, then a switch half cap sweat stands, and it just kept going on, and I couldn't do anything. I fell on my hip every try and just got destroyed.
See, you don't even have to be the best skater. You just have to be the most devious. Like I've got
Just have
friends
to
that
be an
are,
asshole.
yeah, I've got friends that are way better than me, but they just can't do like fakey tricks. So I'll just do everything full cab, like all the basic grinds, but full cab into it. And they're like, "You're a dick." But they can do true spin
Yeah,
anything, and I can't do it. So it's yeah, you just use people's weaknesses against them. It's great.
exactly. Like I watch people do a certain trick, and then I see, all right, the way they're standing in that trick, I know they cannot spin 180, even a 180 out in this direction. So this is what I'm gonna do next trick, and then just watch them struggle. And
Yeah.
I'm having the time of my life while they just be cursing me out, and they're like, all right, fuck you. I'm gonna do that and that trick, and they're just waiting for me to fall or whatever.
Yeah, it's not about being the best skater. It's just about understanding who you're skating against and how to exploit their weaknesses. Yeah, it's great.
Yes.
Um, I've asked you so many questions. I've got nothing else. I don't even know how long we've been doing this. About an hour and 20 minutes. Have you got anything else you want to say before? Oh, my phone
What
just
you got
started
there?
talking to me there. Did you hear that? Did that come through the microphone?
I did hear that. Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever done that in this podcast. There we go. Just turned on Alexa. Yeah. Have you got anything else you want to say before we wrap this up? I can't think of any. I'm pretty sure I've asked you about everything there is possible to ask you about. Yeah.
I think so too. I mean, half of the questions I didn't even know how to answer in the first place. So
Well, yeah, you couldn't remember basic information about yourself. So yeah, that
It's
was a,
just because I wasn't ready for the question to be asked. Like, I don't know when somebody asked me when I started skating for the last time. Like, no one asks that anymore.
I always just remember it as the year before Hoax 3 came out. Anytime someone's like, when did you start skating? I'm like, the year before Hoax 3. And they're like, oh, okay, right, okay.
What year was hoax free?
I think it was 96 or 95. The only two things I can remember is the first video I ever saw was Hoax 3 and VG4. And I'm pretty sure those both came out around the same year. And the first time I saw rollerblading was on TV, and it was Ness. And Jeff Loredo was this guy that became like,
I know who that is.
well, he
Yeah.
was Am of the Year that year for Nis. And I was like, so when people were like, what year did you start skating? I'm like, the year Jeff Loretto was Nis Am of the Year. And they're like, okay. And most people don't know who Jeff Loretto is. So they're like, that makes no sense. But yeah.
I remember Jeff Loretto because we were watching VG11. That's California Dreaming, right? Or was it VG10? I'm not
VG10,
sure.
VG10's Metro. So yeah, I think VG11 might be California Dreaming. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure
Yeah,
he's got like skate park clips in that.
I think he even had like 3 or 4 street clips in it,
Okay.
and he just stuck out to us. Like, we watched the whole thing, and we were like, "Oh, rewind that! We need to know the name. Like, who is that dude? That was just steezy as hell. Like, he really stuck out in the whole montage thing."
Yeah, basically anyone, if they rollerbladed and they had glasses, I latched onto it and I was like, oh, right, Jeff Loretto wears glasses, right, he's cool, right, Champion Bumstimler, he wears glasses, he's cool, right, I'm sticking with these guys. And I just, yeah, anyone that rollerbladed that also, I was like, they understand my pain, that's fine, right, they get it. So I can,
So Jeff Stockwell.
Jeff Stockwell as well, one of my all-time favorites. Yep, love Jeff. I don't understand how there's not any footage of his glasses flying off when he skates, because mine's literally fly off every session. And
True.
he did like corks and stuff and like Phillips and
Yeah,
loads of spins, and never once did you see it makes no sense to me.
I don't get it either. Like, but yeah, he's just class of his own, right? He just
He's just, oh yeah, he's one of those
It's
weirdos
just a
that can
different a
just
different breed.
skate.
Jeff Stockwell, just the way he skates, bowls and spines.
Oh, yeah, he skates skate parks like they're the easiest thing in the world, and then he skates street like they're skate parks, and you're like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
what I didn't ask.
So you can just basically do anything.
That's what I haven't asked you. Who are your favorite skaters? Who are the people that like you like to watch the most, or you grew up liking to watch the most? Who do you think had the kind of biggest influence on you?
Well, when I started, obviously Chris Haffey, because
Obviously,
it was the first that I watched, and first video that I actually put on my phone was Leading the Blind, and I watched that like all the time. Like, all the time. When I was on my phone, I was watching that like in terrible quality, like really small screen. You couldn't really see any tricks. There was like this.
it was
I
just
don't
the
even get
outline.
the
It was just the outline of
point.
his body in different
Yeah, it's just,
positions.
but it didn't matter because I couldn't tell any trick anyway. Like, I didn't know what the difference between a torque and a backslide was, and I just watched it. And I was like, wow, he's doing big spots. That's cool. So that's when I tried to do grinds to gaps all the time. So I think Chris Heffy was a big influence, and from then on, it just switched every other month. I think, like,
Okay.
every time I did. I discovered a new skater for myself and was like, all right, this is really cool. And I just watched all the sections through, like, all right, this is the best pro skater that I know. And then someone comes up and he's like, have you seen that and that guy? And I just watched it, and then I got hooked on that again. And then just like, um, yeah, then someone was like, yeah, you know Chris Heffy, but do you know Brian Aragon? And then you watch Aragon, and then
So
and so on and so on.
obviously those, like both those guys haven't kind of skated. Well, Chris obviously skates a lot more than Brian does, but both haven't kind of
Yeah.
skated professionally for a while now. Who in recent years do you look at and you're like, oh, I really enjoy watching their skating?
Both of the Kelsos.
I knew that was coming. I thought you seem, because you and Ryan Parker seem to have a kind of similar like terrain that you like to skate, or similar like tricks that you both kind of favor. So I thought there might be a basement influence there somewhere.
Yeah, basement, hands down, one of the best things, in my opinion, that happened to blading in recent years. Like they just bring out really good content all the time, and I just enjoy watching all the videos that they do. I mean, Ryan Parker actually as well. Like I watch Ryan's edits or his clips all the time. And last summer we were always texting back and forth trick ideas or whatever, and we have a like a really big time difference. So just sometimes when it's like 10 p.m. around here and we were drinking, we were calling him and he was skating his rail, and we were just super drunk telling him tricks that he should do, and he was usually lacing them first try, and we were like on the phone and we're like, what the hell is going on? Like you tell him to do this insane switch up and then but spin rewind out. We want to see if you actually got the trick, and then he just does it first try.
Yeah, he's one of those perfectionist types. I think he just kind of studies tricks or like just nails them down.
Yeah.
Once he's got them, he's got them. Yeah.
Exactly. You could really tell it. Like that's what we were like, all right, he has to do this and that spin out of it, or this and that trick afterwards, because you can only do it if you have the right stance in the trick. So we're trying to be mean and like really like a game of skate vibe on that.
Yeah, trying to trick him, and he was having none of it. Right. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I watch basically any video that comes up, any video that comes out, I watch. There's no other particular person that I would say sticks out. I mean, Marius, obviously.
Okay.
Like, gotta support the homies as well, and Fabian too.
No, I love how you're like, oh, I'll throw his brother's name in there just so that they, you know.
No,
so Fabian doesn't fall out.
You don't understand.
I like Fabian
always. I always forget that. Like, I remember that once I was actually living with Fabian, and we were filming a shit ton of clips. And when the video came out, I was like, all right, have I thanked everyone that actually was involved in this project? And then just in the end, someone reminded me, hey, dude, weren't you filming with Fabian basically every time? And I'm like, oh, yes, that's right. Fabian's like right there. So it's not meant to be mean. Somehow it just keeps happening, but nah.
So we'll just say, Fabian, if you're watching this, it's not that he doesn't love you. It's just that he forgets and doesn't remember you.
I love you
because you're not that memorable. He just doesn't think you're that memorable. Well,
now, you said that. I wouldn't say that. I would never say that. That's
true. You would never say that, right? So you've just insulted one of your good friends. I think that's a really good place to wrap this up.
Shut up. I already regret it coming to this podcast.
I'm sure
you were just waiting for me.
That was it. Actually, I had it written down. Connor was like, make sure you destroy his friendship with Fabian. And I was like, that was the last thing to ask, so it was fine. We got there in the end.
You know, I wouldn't actually. I wouldn't be surprised if Connor actually said that you should destroy me in some way. Like, it shouldn't be a friendship or anything, but just try to make me look as bad as possible.
Weirdly enough, when I told him you were coming on, he just put there was a lot of ha 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 laughters, and then
yes.
I'm sure he did say something along the lines of give him a hard time. Yeah, there was something along those lines. Yeah. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this today. I've taken up like an hour and a half of your time. Can't wait to see what you're doing next, and look forward to the next section. Hope you get amazing feedback from the introduction part, because I really liked it. I watched it at least 5 times. I was trying to figure out which tricks were switch and which were natural, but now that I've got to the bottom of it, that's problem solved.
I'm just gonna keep doing that and just gonna keep mixing up tricks so people have to rewatch it, the next video that I'm gonna put out. So I'm gonna get 5 times more views because everyone's gonna watch it 5 times to figure out
Plus,
what's switch and what's natural now.
yeah, now that I know what you don't like doing in topsoils, I'm just going to do topsoils the other way, and then going to come visit with Connor, going to play a game of skate, and I'm just going to destroy you, and it's going to be fine. Now that because you can't study my footage, I can study yours, so I've already got the unfair advantage.
Yeah, we can try that. I'm always down for that.
Yeah, I don't fancy my chances. I'm like 15 years older than you. I'll probably get my ass kicked. Until then, yeah, have a good evening. Thanks for taking the time to do it.
Thanks for having me on. And shout out to TVG group. I want to shout out to my crew. I couldn't forget him.
See, that's where the Austrian comes in, because I would always pronounce it like TWG, but you're like
everyone.
TVG. Right, okay. TVG.
Yeah.
See, I'm practically a local. Right. Speak soon.
More or less. See ya.
Bye.